I've got a question for you. Is your food vending operation, is it a job? Is it a business? Or is it just a hobby? Let's talk about which one you really have and what your future could look like. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
So let's start this out by defining what a job, a business, and a hobby are. A job is defined as a paid position of regular employment. Essentially, you work, you receive money for the work. If you don't work, you don't receive money. That's a job. A hobby is defined as an activity regularly done in one's leisure time for pleasure. Think of for pleasure as also meaning for free. The reason you do a hobby is to feel good. It's not to make money. So now, what's a business? A business is defined as an organization that provides goods and services to the community in exchange for money, with the goal of becoming profitable. Keywords: organization, becoming profitable. While on the surface, having a job and having a business seem very much the same, they are different. A job is 100% dependent upon your hands. You cook, you cashier, you do something in your food business, and in turn, your guests give you money. If you control your expenses properly, you'll have something left over once all the bills are paid. Sounds like a business, doesn't it? Well, not quite. A business is and should be more dependent upon your head rather than your hands. Your brain power supplies the training. Your brain power supplies the marketing. It supplies the recipes. It supplies the intangible things that take the job from being dependent upon your hands to being a business that's dependent on your brain. So where does a hobby come into play? Many folks are hobbyists, especially at the beginning. They play at operating a food business. They open sporadically. They open inconsistently. They're open inconsistent hours. And those are the key traits of a hobby. They do it when they want. And guess what? They don't make any money, which means they're doing the work for pleasure. Eventually, though, that pleasure becomes extremely bitter and they lose interest, or they run out of money to keep the business afloat. And then you have a lightly used trailer for sale on the internet. Food trucking is a low-cost business to start. Seems easy from the outside, especially to people looking in through the window. It looks cool. They're cooking and they're getting paid to do it. So you cook food and people pay you. What more could you want? Cook great food and people come back. Again, what more could you want? Hundreds of new food truck owners find out each year the business side of a food truck is time-consuming. It is expensive, especially expensive relative to the pay. It's very hot, very tiring, very sweaty work, and it can be very frustrating. It's nowhere near being a hobby for pleasure. Food service is not a hobby, even with hundreds of owners out there that are floating their business with personal funds. That means they're pouring in the money they make at their corporate job to keep the business afloat. So now let's talk about having a job. Very easy to distinguish a job from a business. A job means you work or you don't get paid. A business means others work and you pay them. Answer this one question to know if you have a job or a business. The question is, can you take off work today and still generate sales revenue? If you cannot generate revenue without your presence on the truck, you have a job. Don't care how much money you're doing every day on the truck or how little you're doing, you have a job. Perhaps a self-created job, and you can take off whenever you want, but it's still a job. It's dependent upon the work of your hands. If your hands don't work, the money stops. Your future depends on you removing yourself from being a critical part of the daily operation. As long as you're the one that's physically propping up the truck by the work that you do, you can never have a day off. And trust me, working 7 days a week gets really old really quick. And it's definitely not a life. So what can you do to change and turn your job, your self-created food truck job, into a business? Couple of simple things. Start looking today for your replacement, somebody that will be in charge of the food truck when you're not on it. It may take you months to find that person, but start looking today. And if you got somebody you think could take your place, start training them today. What is it you expect from customer service? How fast do you want things to go? How little food do you want wasted? What's going to be the metrics that these folks are being held responsible for? If you don't have those metrics written down right now for yourself, congratulations, you still have a job. You don't have a business. Businesses work off of metrics. They know what the food cost is. They know what the waste allowance is or the waste budget is. They know how much everything costs. And then they work to control those costs. Now you're starting to talk about a business. But your hands can't be the one turning the knob down on the propane. Your hands can't be the one flipping the burgers. Your brain has to teach someone how to flip a burger, what to look at to know when to flip the burger, what to listen for to make sure the speed of service is going the way you expect it to go, what to listen for when the cashier is saying, "Hi, welcome to the food truck," or are they just saying, "Hey, I'll take your order." Someone in charge is paying attention to the details. And if that's you right now propping up the food truck, no matter what your position is on it, whether you're the cashier, you're an expediter, you're the cook, does not matter. If you're doing any one of those very crucial positions, you have a job. Might be a well-paying job, I don't know. Your sales could be up there to where you're doing several thousand a day. That's awesome, but you still have a job. If you don't work tomorrow, you don't have income tomorrow. That's a job. A business, if you decide to take off tomorrow, there are employees that will continue to generate revenue for your business. That's the distinction. If you can honestly answer, the truck works better without me than when I'm there, you've got a business. But if the truck ceases to function if you're not there, my friend, you got a job. So becoming a leader, becoming somebody that is going to have a business, I explained you got to find your replacement. You got to train them on the details that you do every single day. And then you got to back off and give them the authority to do the job. Now, I'm not saying they pay all the bills and they're writing the checks and they're doing all that. What you're given the authority to do is to make decisions in real time to keep your speed of service where it needs to be, to keep your waste of food products down as low as possible, and to make sure that when it's slow, they're doing things to help reduce your expenses, like turning down the grill and reducing the propane consumption, doing the things that help you to not spend so much money. So that's what the replacement has to do. They have to replace you, and they have to have the authority level to be you. Now, to make certain they're doing the job right, you have to create systems. And these are follow-up systems. Systems act as your voice when you're not there. System could be as simple as a checklist. Here is 15 things I need you to get done every single day that you are on this food truck. And you can be as micromanaging as you need to be until this person is able to stand on their own 2 feet. You could have them call you every single hour and tell you what the last hour sales were. You can have them call you every single hour and tell you how many tickets did they wait on this past hour? How many desserts have they sold? If you have a way to monitor speed of service, what is the current speed of service? Kitchen KDS should monitor speed of service. And then you should also know the numbers well enough to know if they're cheating on the numbers or not. Because you can see a lot of that stuff in real time through cloud-based POS systems. So we started today with, do you have a job? Do you have a business? Do you have a hobby? So seriously answer that question and then start tomorrow figuring out a way to turn it into a business that you're not having to be there every single minute that it's open. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because you know I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.